Hey guys, Jason Creel, and this is the Lawn Care Life. And today I want to introduce you guys to Randy. Randy spent the day with me. We're talking about weed control and fertilization, and he has been in the mowing business since the early 90s and looking to branch into weed control. But I thought, you know, I'm gonna take a few minutes because you guys hear from me all the time, and you know, sometimes I repeat myself. It's better if I can bring somebody else in who's got a lot of experience too. And I'm gonna ask Randy some questions about his experience in lawn business and advice that he would have to those, you know, in the lawn business, those starting up or maybe those who, you know, been in it a while. All right, Randy, you know, every year there are tons of people that start in the lawn business, and you know, some make it and some don't. Just because you've been doing this for a long time, what advice would you give somebody who's starting out?
Well, Jason, a lot of it has to do with things that you and I have talked about today since we've spent time together. One of the main things that you want to do for any customer is what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it. And if you can pull this off, you will keep this client probably for a lifetime. If you don't, you'll be that guy that the next guy rolls by and gets your yard. Because if you don't stay consistent and do the things that you've told this client you would do, they will drop you and you will lose that client. I promise you this. But if you'll just stay with them and do what you say you're going to do, and that doesn't mean you have to be there every time you say you're going to be there, but if you're not, communicate with them. Let them know that you're not going to be there and why you might not be there. And I promise you, those clients will stay with you, and the respect that you and them will have together will last the lifetime of your career.
I know, you know, obviously since you started, there's been a lot of things change about the industry. We talked about equipment changing, you know, with the zero-turn mower obviously being a game changer for our industry. But just in general, in your personal business, maybe your philosophy, maybe how you price things, how you do things, how do you do things differently now than when you first started?
Well, you're right. The equipment is the main thing that's changed a lot. You know, our equipment now is so much more dependable than what we used to have. We started out with lawn tractors because they were the most dependable thing to have. You either had a tractor or you bought a Z-turn that was mostly for homeowners, or you bought a Z-turn that was completely commercial and it cost you a bundle just to get started in lawn care. Other things that have changed now, more of the clients expect more of a hands-on approach to their lawn care. They want to know that you are going to take care of them no matter what. Used to, you know, when I was younger, people mowed their own yard or at least had their kids mowing their yard. Now it's failed the professional to come in and take and fill those voids. So the main thing I would say that's changed now is they expect you to do what they would do. If as long as you come in and you do a good job and their yard looks like they would do it themselves, that's the main thing that's changed. Used to, they just did it themselves. That's the number one thing that's changed is hands-on. They expect you to be them and do what they would do.
All right, Randy, I wanted to ask you too. I see, you know, again, we all screw up. I can think back to my first, you know, year or two in the lawn business and the things I did that I wish I wouldn't have done, mistakes I made. Can you maybe from your own experience, mistakes you made, or just seeing people, what kind of mistakes do you see people make early on in their lawn care business?
I'd say the number one mistake that I see made is a mistake that it's a killer in this game, and that's trying to do too much too fast. Overload yourself, because then that goes back to point one where we talked about a while ago. When you start overloading yourself and you don't have the time to get to where you're supposed to be and do the things you're supposed to do, then you're just backing up in this game and you're going to lose clients. The number one thing is to not overload yourself, not get more work than you can take care of, whether you put on another truck to do it or whether you just take a certain amount of clientele where you yourself can handle it all. Overloading yourself will kill you in this game, not only with the clients but physically. Before you know it, you're losing sleep, you're not spending time with your family, things like that will cause you to be miserable in your own life. So my number one thing there would be just don't overload yourself. Don't try to do too much too fast. Take your first season, build you up a good clientele, make a good living, Then start thinking about your long-term, where you want to go. Do you want to hire help? Do you want to put on more trucks? Whatever you want to do like that. And you may be like me, I've been solo my whole career because I didn't want to go through the whole thing of having employees and dealing with all of that, and just built up a good clientele of a handful of good clients that I've made a good living taking care of.
Andy, why do you, after being in it so long, and we've been talking today about, getting into weed control and fertilization, and you're not looking to give up your mowing, you're looking to kind of supplement the mowing with the weed control. What is it about that interests you, and why at this stage in your business are you looking to expand into weed control and fertilization?
Well, I think that in this business, and I don't know why I didn't take this mentality sooner, watching your channel and some other guys' channels is kind of what woke me up to this. I think in this business, you should provide everything to your client that you can possibly provide. And my clients, my personal clients, they've had to go outside of my business to get their weed control taken care of. And listening to you and listening to some of the other guys that I watch on YouTube, I began to realize, well, that was kind of the wrong way to look at it, Randy. It's not that much more to get into the weed control side of it, other than your certifications and the things you have to do, which is kind of what held me back. I knew I'd have to have certification. I knew I'd have to have other equipment. But the main thing is to provide that service to my own clients, whether I branch out and get new clients in that field or not, which I probably will. That's what I'm looking at. But to service my own clients in that part of the industry is tremendous to me now. Plus, I think as I'm getting older, as y'all can tell, I think it's going to be an easier way to make a living in that side of the business and put someone else in my mowing trucks and keep that going. And me to help take care of the weed control will be a whole lot easier physically on me, and probably, and hopefully mentally on me, to just take care of that side of the business.
All right, guys, glad to expose you to Randy. I've been with him talking today, and can tell he's got good common business sense that I thought would be helpful to my audience. So if you hadn't done so, subscribe to the channel, and we'll continue to provide helpful videos for you, and hopefully be able to expose you to more people like Randy who can offer advice to those of you starting out. Thanks a lot.